Welcome to another high-performance episode of the No Limits Life podcast. I'm your host, Nordine, with my co-host, Ken. And today's episode is about grit, transformation, and the power of disciplined service. You can't coach greatness if you haven't lived through struggle, taken the hits, and risen with purpose. Our guest today is a true son of Tucson, born and raised on the southside, where his passion for training started at the age of 12. Wow. Bobby Rodriguez played college football, graduated from the University of Arizona, and then took a leap that changed his life, moving to Brazil, where he discovered martial arts and found his calling as a coach. From 2014 to 2020, Bobby rode professionally in one of the world's most dangerous sports, bull riding. That fire and focus eventually fueled his next bold chapter, founding Jet Sports Training, a powerhouse facility where elite athletes from UFC, MLB, NFL, and NCAA and Olympic stages come to get stronger physically, mentally, and spiritually. Please welcome a fighter, a founder, and a coach who lives to serve, Bobby Rodriguez.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Hey, Bobby.
All right.
Good to have you here.
It's an honor to have you with us. You lived a unique and bold life from the south side of Tucson to Brazil, football to bull riding. What were the turning points that shaped the lead into the leader that you are now?
It's a lot of things. I can peel back the layers, go as far as back as being a little boy at 4 or 5, 6 years old. My first sport was rodeo. My dad
at 5?
Yeah, at 4 or 5.
Wow.
4, 5, 6, 3 years in a row. I was in the annual rodeo here at Tucson. Wow. Tucson Rodeo.
That's a big deal here.
Was your father into rodeo?
No, he wasn't. It was just something that I really wanted to do. I had an older cousin who was in the rodeo in a different event. He's a few years older than me. But just being around that element, I wanted to be a cowboy from an early age. So my dad signed me up at, I believe I was either 3 or 4 years old. I was really young.
Are you riding sheep? Is that what they ride?
Yeah, I'm riding sheep. So
yeah,
it's
that's
called,
so cool.
It's called mutton busting.
I love it.
But
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, that's very cool.
When you're that young, it seems like a dinosaur, right? The size of a sheep. But I just remember my dad just telling me, like, hey, you gotta do this. Like, let's go, try your best. And it was individual. Like, it was just an individual sport. So when I got to team sports, I just felt that was, I wouldn't say easier, it was just simpler for me because I had already gone through something mentally. You get a 4-year-old inside of a box with an animal he's never met. He's making, noises, and then you got to open up a gate, go into the arena, and hang on for as long as you can. That does something to a little boy. So that was kind of instilled inside of me at a very young age. So my parents split around that same time. But I just think that really rooted me into who I was. Like, hey, I can do anything by myself, selfishly. So that's...
When you say this, it's pretty interesting and powerful. When you say, I can do anything by myself. Can you elaborate on that? Because we have a separation, which is very emotional,
right,
especially for a child. So are you saying that you just dived into your passion to numb the emotion?
Yeah,
what was happening?
I would say that too. I failed the first 2 times, the first 2 years of rodeo. When I was 4, 5, I fell off the required time, which it's about 6 to 8 seconds. There's a horn that rodeo has, like, and you have to fall off.
And we're talking about that at age 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
So you already were introduced to failure at 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Did you even understand what that meant?
Yeah, because like I said, I was already a fan and I'd seen it on TV. I understood, like, I didn't make the required time. So my last year, I was told by my dad and my uncle, like, this is your last opportunity. Like, you have to do this.
So you're driven and motivated by others.
Correct.
Who basically told you what the difference between failure and success was. And you wanted to go after that success.
That last year when I entered the competition, I ended up winning the rodeo, and there was, you guys have seen the Tucson rodeo.
So at 6.
Yeah, there's thousands of people there, and I just remember, like, raising my hands up, and I got addicted to not only adrenaline but winning.
Yeah, victory. Yeah,
I really did. So I just understood, like, if you put in work, good things happen. And you're gonna get stepped on. Like I'd practice for this. Like got stepped on the face, bucked off, things like that. So
I think it's interesting to say that at that age you still developing, your brain is developing, everything else, and you got addicted to victory. But I think what happened really is that you didn't like to lose.
Correct.
That was probably the thing that got you going. And I can only imagine 6 years old.
That's really young to be in competitive sport.
And what I tell a lot of people is it was something that I wanted to do. My dad and uncles, my family, they weren't forcing it on me. It was just something that I wanted to do, and I'm not sure where that came from.
We hear a lot of people who succeeded and say, I'm not sure, how I did it, or you are, what it is. If you dig deep inside, we can go back to that failure again.
Yeah.
You didn't like that.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Because you didn't like to lose, you won.
Exactly.
So victory, success are just the flip coin of a side of a same coin of failure.
Yeah.
Failure, success. If you don't fail, you never succeed.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true.
And that's probably what it is that we all need to know. You know why you won, because you didn't like to lose.
Trying to figure out where your cowboy hat is right now.
It's at home. It's at home, and but that cowboy hats, they mean a lot to me, and just because that's really where I'm rooted.
Yeah.
So
symbol.
It means a whole lot.
So, okay, so you were in Brazil, so you kind of remind me of Steven Seagal, because the way Steven Seagal learned his martial arts is he just went to Japan, right? And he immersed himself in it.
Yeah.
And that's what you did in Brazil, right? So, between that, bull riding, building a business, a successful business that you have right now, how is all that, how did that influence, like, your mindset and the way you coach now?
Just everybody's going through something is what I say. Everyone's carrying their own cross, and I really realized that in Brazil. Living in the U.S. my entire life, we kind of get spoiled, like getting everything fast, getting there fast, things like that. When I lived in Brazil, I had to walk, take long bus drives, eat once a day. Like food wasn't on demand, like it is.
How old
in the
are you
US.
at this point when you're in Brazil?
22, 23 years old.
Okay, and you're totally on your own.
Totally on my own, yeah.
Wow.
So, again, they were a few years behind in technology, cell phone wise. Like this is 2012, so smartphones were introduced, but I had a flip phone then, and I had to go to a corner store every so often and re-up on minutes. Like I had to buy minutes, things like that. So it just made me realize.
How did you earn money, like, to stay there?
So I did a couple things. I would teach English out of school.
Oh, that's smart.
And I don't advise this, but I would fist fight on the beach on Saturdays. And it was like human rooster fighting. Like people would pay, like, hey, beat up that guy.
Hustler.
Wow, yeah.
So I would do that and just be me, and people like that, and they would welcome me into their house. And when you go to different countries, like sitting down at someone's dinner table is a lot. So I ended up having friends that I now call family, and they would invite me into their house.
You spoke the language, right?
Yeah, I speak Portuguese, yeah.
But when you went there, did you speak the language then?
I spoke formal Portuguese, like from school that I learned, because I minored it at the U of A. But when you say formal words in a country like Brazil, they start making fun of you. Like, that's not...
And why did you choose to go there for?
So my freshman year of college, our field goal kicker was from Brazil. And he would really talk the best about Brazil. The food, the music, the women, the everything. And I was interested, right?
Curious,
so, yeah, very curious. So I said, when I graduate, I'm moving there. So that's exactly what I did. I graduated from the U of A.
So you moved in hopes to stay there, not just to go there for a couple of years.
I moved there to see what happens. I literally said that. Let's see what happens. I really love...
But were you willing to stay there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was willing to stay there if my visa had not ran out.
Where was that in Brazil?
It's in the state of Espírito Santo.
Oh, okay.
So it's central it's central, east central Brazil.
Okay.
Right, about an hour away from Rio de Janeiro.
Wow.
And that's where I tell people, this is where I reinvented myself. I was a competitive spirit my entire life. And then when I got there, I went to go figure out their method of martial arts was jiu-jitsu. And I figured out that I'm not as tough and bad as I thought I was. And I was getting my butt
Well,
kicked.
you went to the mother of the sport.
Yeah. And I really...
And jiu-jitsu is like, when it comes to ultimate fighting, that's a big deal.
It's a very big deal. And it's one of the most important bases of MMA. And like I said, I was getting choked out by girls. And I tell this story.
Well, there's nothing wrong, with
Nothing-
that.
yeah, nothing wrong with
taking
that.
that jiu-jitsu is more of a mind game.
Yeah, it really is.
And I've gone through that myself a couple of times. Trust me, and I was beaten by the Russell. Remember?
Yeah,
The world champ, 5-time world champ who didn't has
Blind, right?
He was blind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Blind, didn't have fingers, and extremely intelligent and nice guy. So I weighed 220 pounds. They took me to the ground. I could never get out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you talk about giving your life to service through what you're doing. Can you explain what that means to you?
It means a great deal to me. What I mean by living a life of service is giving it back how it was given to me, if not better. Mm-hmm. So when I was 12 years old, I had a friend whose dad was a corrections officer at the state prison at the time. And he took me in and introduced me to the weight room. And he taught me how to, your basic core lifts, your barbell squat, bench, how to hinge, and then auxiliary lifts as well. And I really fell in love with that feeling. And this man was doing it all for free. Like, he would pick me up every other day, Saturdays, and he just was giving me this out of love. But in a way, I make fun of him because it was out of love, but he was putting us through it and putting me through it, like long runs. We were doing Tuamok before Tuamok was popular.
Oh, wow.
Things like that.
You're running up it?
Yeah, running up it.
Because that's a major deal, running up it. You don't see too many people doing that.
Weighted vest inside of the Santa Cruz River, things like that. But that was his way of showing love, like pushing me. So when I got to high school, same thing. The coaches were pushing us very hard to win state titles. I went to Sunnyside High School where
that's a good football school.
Wrestling and football was the standard was state championship or bust.
Yeah.
But our coaches would push us so hard, but then they would really talk to us about life. And I understood, like, this stuff's going to pay off whether we win titles or not. Like, if you carry on this stuff, it's gonna make you a successful person outside of this. So that's why I live a life of service, because those men taught me what it meant, and I'm just paying it forward now. I want to do more for others, just like others did for me.
So, Bobby, what you're referring to, the content, which is the martial art, and all of these really disciplined art, were also guiding you to learn more about the context of your life.
Correct.
And how can you use that as a tool to teach youngers to be young leaders and stay grounded. And that's what you mean by being at the service of humanity, or lead by example. Can you give us an example of how you use your skills to teach a young kid to stay out of trouble, for instance?
There's many examples I could use. One thing that I tell young people to do, I like to do this with athletes around 7th, 8th grade, is to say, let's write down some goals. And I stole this from other coaches that taught me this. Let's write down some of your goals and put them over your bed. For instance, say if it's a squat, you want to squat 315, put 315 by a deadline, in a year, in 6 months, things like that. Or if it's a GPA goal, or if it's a team goal, whatever.
You combine affirmation and visualization.
Actually, I know somebody that did that.
Yeah.
Growing up, right there.
Yeah, you combine both of them and made sure that every morning or several times a day they look at it, read it, and emotionalize it. I think part of it is it's one thing to read or look at something. It's another to emotionalize it. I think, emotions are the stamp. You're sending that letter to the universe, but if you send a letter without a stamp, it's not going to get there.
Yeah.
So the emotion, if you read that affirmation and visualize your goals and you feel it, you commit to it with emotion, you're stamping that letter. It's just a matter of time before you get it. Yeah, so that's awesome. I like that.
How did it work? Did you see them?
Yeah, and
accomplish their goals?
Some of them have been with me since they were 9 years old in our facility, and they still do that. And I like to give advice that I've gone through myself. So I said, hey, this helped me. Let's see if it helps you. Because I like showing kids, like, hey, this is the evidence that this stuff works. And I tell them, it's the first thing you see in the morning, and it's the last thing that you see before you go to bed at night.
Oh, that's a good point.
One of the things that I admire about what you're doing is that we live in a society where we're technology driven, and it's not going to go away anytime soon, and we need to follow it and use it to the best we can. What do you say to these kids that are constantly on their phone, on the device, and when they come to you in the beginning, and what do you tell them?
Well, I'm going to tell young people and adults, just put your phone to do not disturb. Don't have any notifications coming in, and your anxiety levels will go down, I promise. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing I do tell kids. It's not about your skill set. It's not about your talent. It's, can you stay focused? Mm-hmm. Can you stay focused throughout the day? Mm-hmm. Can you stay focused throughout practice, throughout a training session? Can you not look at your phone for the next hour and wait? Because I get it.
That's extremely hard for them, yeah. And for adults, this is one of the methods that I also use, a 90-minute break from devices, and it works well. But some of my clients went to withdrawals after doing that. Really,
I see people at the gym, adults all the time on their phone at the gym.
It's fascinating.
I don't
all the time.
I don't understand that. I'm from your era where the weight room was a temple.
What are you talking about, era?
I just
you mean black and white TV?
Yeah, I understand. And I think like I said, as leaders, we cannot and definitely should not shy away from technology and just shut it down. Mm-hmm. Not at all.
Yeah.
We should navigate it. We should understand it better so we can explain it better to the youngsters out there. Mm-hmm. Because we cannot ask them to do something we don't understand.
Yeah.
In other words, we can't tell a kid or an adult to put their phone away if we don't understand what's going on, both on an emotional and mental landscape. It's important for us to learn more about it.
Sure.
Learn more about AI. Where is it going? How we can use it positively. Understand the mental and emotional ramification of using technology, and put methods together to help teach them.
Yeah. So I would just say limit, edit, or eliminate distractions. That'll be the
and it's a good thing to take a break a couple times a day, even if they do a 90 minutes. The other day I got out of my house and I forgot my phone, but it's not until 20 minutes later. Most people would discover that right away.
Right.
But for me, I didn't, and it dawned to me I didn't have my phone. At first, I freaked out. Right. Then I felt a sense of peace. Mm-hmm. I didn't want my phone the whole day. Yeah. I did not want my phone the whole day. I understand. So when we take a break and we finally understand what it is, you come to a peaceful state and you understand that's what you've been missing all along. You really, understand the power of
Nordine, I'll add one last thing to that too for young people is Also, when I say distractions, I don't mean all from your phone. I mean also television, friends,
games.
Sometimes your own environment. Like you have to not be a product of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
That's something I wanted to add for them.
Yep. No, I agree, and I hear you because, like me personally, I have to, and I'm much better at it now. But I want to be present.
Yes.
Like when you're talking right now, I want to listen to you.
Correct.
And there was a time where you would be talking like right now, and I'd be thinking about what I'm going to do next. But I'm much more present now, which is very nice for me.
It's a powerful tool.
Yeah, it's very powerful. We do appreciate your story, and it's a big testament to discipline and giving back.
Yeah.
I think that's so important.
So,
and I'm sure you're finding that, when you give back, or when you give, it comes back to you tenfold.
Yes.
And living with purpose. So thanks for being here. And
Yeah,
being a guest of
absolutely.
ours.
Thanks for having me.
To our listeners, if Bobby's journey and story rings a bell and inspires you, please, by all means, like, subscribe, and remember, greatness starts with how you show up. So keep living your no limits life.
Follow your heart. All you gotta do is follow. All you gotta do is follow.